You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. You see here, kid, you gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your knees, take a deep breath, and jump. You might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
morning. Good morning. Morning. Happy Monday.
So then, if you see
How was everybody's weekend?
that existence,
I had a great weekend.
existence is musical in nature. That is to say that it is not serious. It is the play.
Just crashing through levels right now. And about 40 seconds to open.
In music, though, one doesn't make the end of a composition the point of the composition. If that were so, the best conductors would be those who played fastest. And there would be composers who wrote only finales. People go to concert just to hear one crashing chord, because that's the end.
We're open. Good morning, morning, morning. What's up, everybody? All right, let's get some edge pressure on the board. Let's talk a little about the market. All right, 458 spot.
Say, when dancing, you don't aim at a particular spot in the room. That's where you should arrive. The whole point of the dancing is the dance. Look at the people who live to retire, put those savings away. And then when they're 65, they don't have any energy left, they go and rob in an old people's senior citizens community. Because we simply cheated ourselves the whole way down the line.
All right, so SPY 458 looks like hedge pressure for the SPY. Let's get NASDAQ on the board quick. First day does not feel bullish at the open. Last week, they've been killing the open. The bulls have been absolutely destroying the market at open. Today didn't have that feel. We're actually under a lot of pretty much every pivot as well. But we'll see. We'll give it some time. So we have 384.5 on the NASDAQ. Let's mark that up here. Three. It's got to put walls in here. 82. All right, how about for the Dow? 356. We're still a ways away from the Dow. And how about for the Russell? 227.5. All right, cool. All right, so we're good there. How about our internals? Up and here we go. Russell Dow taking off. Can't be an open without something soaring up, right? Let's just try to get our internals set up here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, guys, we're off. Let's see what we got here. All right, so everything is still over hedge pressure right now. Actually, we're still over the call walls for Nasdaq and for the SPY. Doesn't have that same feel, being that we're opening up below a couple of 4-hour pivots, but Dow and Russell did catch those. All right. So Nasdaq and S&P, which I mean had great weeks. Actually, let's set up our weeks for those. We have time still. Russell finally hit that 23.12.9 we were talking about, which was its goal from 22.84. Oh, Mikey hit that swing. He was looking at swinging it before. 84 has just been hello support here. Last week, all week long, we were talking about this level holding above it, right, guys? 22.84 held up here and it finally got to its level here. So now if it breaks through, let's see if it holds. No, market's still looking good. We're not in anything right now. We haven't taken any trades in the morning. Hang tight and see what we got here. Dow and not Dow, Nasdaq and S&P not looking great right now. Giving some back. 708 did hold from Friday. Let's see if it holds again today. 708 is a number that doesn't want to be given up from Nasdaq. 15708. That's completion of the last level. Is now leveling up as the S&P is, but giving some back at the open. Whereas the Dow and the Russell are just killing the open right now. Resilience is positive right now, slightly for S&P and for Nasdaq. Nothing crazy, but it is positive. So for us, it's just sit back and wait mode. Had a really good weekend. Hope you guys did too. Got to play some golf. Final day of my the golf club that I run. You guys know about that tournament starting in 2 weeks. That Eagle Cup Scholarship tournament that I started. It's pretty cool. This is gonna be a busy week for me, guys. I have a lot going on in DTP. Got a lot going on, personal stuff that I'm doing. All good stuff. So I'm looking forward to a great week. Hopefully, we hit a couple early trades. I'm actually incorporating myself tomorrow. Excited about that. So a lot of good stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know what to make it this open here. Russell clearing its level. Dow actually bouncing at its level, the 577 level. So we're looking bullish right now for little brother, little sister. And at the open, well, I mean, Nasdaq and S&P are still in a huge bull zone. They just haven't let's get this up here. They just haven't made that move yet today. get our levels cleared up a little bit. All right, let's see what happens there. The Nasdaq long. If we can get a little bit of a bounce back at hedge, the Nasdaq here, it might be a long take. So we're going to keep an eye on Nasdaq first to reach hedge pressure here. See what happens if it doesn't get there. And now they get through a call wall 386, 385 next test, 384 and a half. Hedge for today for Nasdaq. Russell, a quick 15 points at open. That's 150 ticks. That's a big deal. Dow doing similar action here. Dow jumped up at about 90 points at open. Still very nice open. But Nasdaq gave up at open, and S&P and Nasdaq are in the same boat right now. S&P still up a little bit for the day. Russell is the big winner for the day so far. Nasdaq only loser at open right now. And now it's looking at Russell, Dow, S&P, and then Nasdaq. Nasdaq and S&P both negative for resilience. So we're going to watch the reaction at hedge pressure if Nasdaq does reach that, and we'll see if we get a bounce, if we can get a correction in resilience to confirm our move. Oh, we sure had Russell pegged up last week, didn't we, guys? Russell broke through, held 84, 220, 22, 84, held that as support for a while. We had our target, which would have been the 2312, shooting right through that right now. 2320 and climbing. Nasdaq and S&P has not been playing with it though, and Nasdaq just shot through a call wall. S&P at a call wall right now. Yeah, that's what we got going on. So Dow 3577 acting as support. That was completion of its level from last week, right? I think it was last Wednesday or Thursday, if I remember correctly. They gave us our completion for our level, and now we're using it as support. So everything looking up right now for Dow and for the Russell. Nasdaq is probably just looking for its support. And let's see if we can find it with resiliency. It's tweetering around on relevancy as far as equilibrium goes. Let's see if we can get Nasdaq into positive here. That may be a setup for a long. We are getting closer to that 384.5 hedge pressure. A QQ. Eight. Yeah, this is going to be this looks like it could bounce right now. 85 call wall. I mean, this is turning into like it's a real runaway bull market. And again, those longs that are in there from a month ago, 2 months ago, a year ago, it's going to be so hard to get them out. So you may have days of profit take, but it's really really tough to change a trend of a longer time frame. That's kind of what's going on now. So even on news that could be considered bad news, it's not really affecting much because the people that are in the money are in the money so hard right now that it's just tough to get them out of that. It's not like they're it's not those short squeezes where if you can call a top for any day and you get yourself 100, 200 points, but those shorts are still scared and they're still taking outs and they're still getting their profit end of the day. So you're even seeing these end of day spikes. We saw one or two short spikes, but they were off of pushes long. So this is some profit taking going on that kind of maybe catapult a little more than that. But every stab short has been met with substantial buys. So why would anybody want to go against that? So it's about finding your buys. I mean, that if you were playing off that strategy for the last year, just buying buying dips, you probably were doing very well. Bull markets are definitely easy to trade, in my opinion. There are some people who say that those sideways markets are easy because those support and resistance areas are just they just hold true. Bull markets, though, it's just like whatever was resistance, you find it and then it becomes support. It's kind of the way it's been working in these bull markets. So Nasdaq's trying to bounce a little bit here. I wouldn't take this until we get to hedge pressure. I'm not looking to get in between bulls. I don't see anything else that shows a nice support. I don't really have any levels for Nasdaq right now of decent support levels. I'd want to get involved in a trade. And definitely a mixed bag at open, right, guys? You have the S&P and Nasdaq that are both trending down. You have the Dow. Well, Dow is kind of actually catching up to Nasdaq and S&P right now. It's testing a red line. Let's see if it can break through. Russell's the only one that's just kind of going nuts right now, steaming through that 2312.9 number. So for us, no need to be jumpy. We're gonna hang out, wait for a setup. Actually, internals still looking decent. Ad is looking decent right now. Not enough yet. Give it a little more time here. We'll get some more information off that. But ad right now looking decent. Tick holding above zero. Ad holding above 1,000. The VIX right now is looking bearish for us. Right now, if I'm looking later on in the day, I can see a 2312 long for the Russell if it does give that back, if everything else can hold true. I'm expecting to see a bounce from NASDAQ and S&P. I don't see it as a full down day. If we did 15,708, definitely definitely a big number as far as support goes for NASDAQ. We're not even close to that. We're 100 points away from that right now. There's not much that I see that I would take. Dow breaking through on the downside through an hour pivot, getting to a 4-hour pivot. And Russell is just a straight line. So that's what we're waiting for right now, guys. We're waiting to see reaction. If we get some reaction here from any call wall, we might chase it from the other side here. We're just going to kind of keep SPY and we'll keep NASDAQ and S&P together here. So we get S&P reaction going up here. We'll probably take a SPY, drop around the call wall. Russell here, we'd have to get some kind of a pullback to that 2312 range if we're looking to long that. So we might just be waiting for setups right here. Nasdaq is at its hour pivot here, which looks bearish right now. Nasdaq, if it wants to start making a bullish kind of a move, it would need to break above that 838 number. 838 is the number of the break and hold. Looking to make a little bit of a bullish or a little bit of a catch up here. For us, just a waiting game. Dow did test its VWAP. S&P making new lows here. Yeah, this is not looking bullish at the open, but 10 o'clock, 10:30 can change it right around. We're not looking to get into anything right now. Tick is looking bearish. VIX is looking bearish. Add, although it's starting in a bull area right now, is giving back a little as well. And Dow just broke through VWAP here. Anything, maybe after that monster close last week, maybe it's just trying to give some back. I don't want to chase a short here, though, guys. I would like to catch a long. I don't want to chase a short. This market is not looking short, and I've got no notifications or indications of any kind of a move or a reason why this became bearish today. But it could be a bear day. This could be a down day. Right now, Russell definitely king, up 1.25%. Dow up 0.25%. S&P at even for Globex open. And NASDAQ is trailing a little bit, 0.18%. Not a lot, nothing crazy here. I don't want to be early for a bull move if it is in fact a bull move. I don't want to be I don't want to chase a short here. We are going to sit tight and wait. I can't see right now anything happening until late morning, early afternoon for me. Nine minutes to new hour, 10 o'clock. This definitely has a different feel. We said it at the open. It has a different feel than last week's opens, where everything was kind of just shooting, rocketing up. We did have the rocket up from the Russell, which was kind of trailing for most of the part. It did hold equilibrium all day Friday, and finally making the bounce up. And actually, right after 4 o'clock close and into the morning. Actually, pre-market it held 2,300 as support. And at the open, it finally bounced up. It teased the 2312 number before open around the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock time. Actually, around 6 in the morning, it was teasing that 23 that we had for completion, and finally it opened and rocketed through it. The Dow was using 3577 as support. Let's see if it can hold that. 35777. That was completion for the Dow. That was completion of the level. Russell setting up here, looks like for another move up. I'm not chasing this after that monster move up here. Though it does have a clear out of 2321-ish area would be a clear out. But here now, when everything else is kind of trying to get, well, let's see. NASDAQ, for the second or third time, it's trying to break through that 834 number, or 836 number. This kind of a day where it's the open is anyways chopping around, we're looking for 1 to 2 good trades. That's what we're looking for, 1 to 2 trades. So the first step for Nasdaq or S&P to get into a bull side here, we're looking for a breakup of our hour pivots that are coming up in 5 minutes. First look for me anyway. Dow kind of doing the same thing here as well. So this is all looking bearish here. Besides the Russell that's kind of shooting up here. That's why I don't want to chase the Russell long either. Even that setup over here was very long. I'm not trying to chase that here. This is actually turning into a little quick short scalp. Let's see what we got on VWAP. Yeah, it's actually giving us our stop at 836-ish. 836 area would be a stop for a short for NASDAQ. At this point, it's about 12 points we'd be risking. From this last move up from NASDAQ to close from Friday, 765 looking like a 765 is looking like a red line. Oh, 765. It's 50 points here. See, that would be a good test to see if it's going to bounce back up again too. We get another pop up here on around 830. You might take a short to 770, 768. All right, getting to our 10 o'clock hour. Russell still banking at 20, 23, 22.5, holding support this whole move. I don't know how big these drops going to be. I can see 765 being a test for NASDAQ. If it's going to keep breaking down, 765 does make sense. 40 points away from here. See the action there. That could be the springboard that it's looking for right now to get back into the game. Everything else kind of following suit. S&P still staying below as well too. So, but everything is over hedge pressure. So we're not looking to go crazy here. I did talk about a short scalp to 765, but I would need to get that 830 number to kind of even consider that. The Dow short looks appealing here, but Russell is just not playing. If the Russell gives up a little bit right now, it may be time to kind of start a nice short scalp. I can see the Russell giving away as a little bit of confirmation for a little bit more down, but still early in the open. On this first day of November, November 1st, Christmas time is here. We talked about last week too, Halloween costumes, and I was on point when I said that Squid Game was number one. I saw about 20 Squid Game costumes, and that includes kids and adults. It was all over social media. It was all over the where my kids went trick or treating. Actually, my kids went to a buddy of mine just bought a house not too far from me, and we went there for the first time trick or treating. And it was like a Halloween parade. There was so many kids. All the adults were dressed up there. It was pretty cool. My kid came back with more candy than I've ever seen a kid get. One kid get in Halloween. His room is almost covered in this. He has a Santa Claus bag full of candy. So, of course, through that, I gained about 5 pounds because I was all about the Laffy Taffies. I'm a big Laffy Taffy guy. And a Reese's guy. I like my Reese's too. So 10 o'clock here. We're getting some breaks. Let's see. 765 in play, guys. NASDAQ 765. Getting to hedge pressure. We're at the next call wall down for NASDAQ here. This is not the area to short. The scalp was up there by the 830 number. This is not the area. Even the Russell kind of tried testing one more time. The Russell broke through with support. 23.22.5 was the immediate support it broke through. 23.17, next level of support for the Russell. Everything else is trying to, it's making new our open lows. Yeah, this does not have that same bullish feel, but all it takes is one strong buy in this market. So we wait. This weekend I was going over my trades for last week, and I definitely overtraded. I hate overtrading, and I definitely had more trades than I would like to get into. And my A plus trades were still 75% winners. My B trades, I got hit hard in my B trades. So let's see if we can find two trades today. Two good trades, 2 to 3 good trades today. That's what we're looking for. Even the Russell's giving up here. Let's see if the Russell can hold that 23.13, 23.13.7. Curious if the Russell holds that. We're getting, NASDAQ is getting to its first red line, 765 we have. See what it does there. 708. 708 would be a long for me. That's a very big move down from the top here. I could see a reaction at 708 level. Yeah, resilience, negative 30s all around. All right, the board is starting to churn red here. NASDAQ, it's only 20-35%, 0.1% in S&P, but it's starting to trail. Dow is catching up to the shorts also. Let's see if Russell can hold up the market right now. Like I said, I do have a big week coming up this week, guys. Very excited. I'm going to be incorporating myself tomorrow. It's really cool. I have a very, very big scholarship tournament that I started. I'm running 2 weeks. So we have a lot of work to do for that as well. A lot going on for me this week, guys. All right. All right. We are at hedge pressure here for the NASDAQ, and we're right almost there for the SPY. Let's see the reaction if there is one. This would be the level to do so. If we get a bump there, I might pop in a Russell long if we do get the bump. Let's see the reaction on the big boys. Let's see Big Brother's reaction here. Nasdaq bouncing. I'm, s- I'm sorry, the Dow bouncing, and Russell following up. Don't see the kick that hard on Nasdaq here. This is hedge pressure. I would imagine Nasdaq would be bouncing like this. We are still negative, negative 30 all around. S&P and Nasdaq resilience is still negative. Russell also testing at 2312, which is right around its 4-hour pivot as well. Russell didn't quite get to VWAP, but still bouncing that area. I want to see the bounce here from Nasdaq. A bounce up here, and we might scalp another pullback for Russell. So right now, nothing's lining up for us. So we have not taken the trade yet today. $765 is showing to be support right now, guys. We were correct on that Nasdaq. Let's see if it can hold up here now. And that's just it. Even that, like the open didn't look too bullish, but just testing levels right now, and it looks like we're holding. We did get a bounce on Nasdaq at that 765 level, that red line. Nasdaq had a little bit. Well, we definitely had a fight there. It wasn't not the pop that kind of hoping for, but it is climbing still. 10 o'clock, still very early. Market still getting its feet, its footing. The Russell Long was there as well too. I'm hesitant to long one indice when the other three are dropping, but we were getting to support, so you could make a case for that Russell Long. We passed on. We're not looking to overtrade this week. We want a maximum 20 trades for the week. 20 to 25 would be a great number for us for the week for trading. Not looking to get over that. Good sign Nasdaq is bouncing at hedge pressure though. Now we see if we can hold. All right, the market's definitely reacting to hedge pressure, definitely reacting to red lines. Market is it's going to be a lot, guys. It's going to be a lot to kind of break through these levels, and I mean, it's going to take months to get this to break the bull trend. But even for like a short term process here, there are a lot of really hard levels to break through. There are buyers set up at these levels. Look at this, Russell's making new highs off of that 4-hour pivot. All right, at that pivot breaking through here. For a nice continuation, we would need something to break out as well too. Now, all three indices are still under their pivots here, so we're not bullish for them until we get through. We don't take longs down here. We take longs above for everything. Only long we saw there was a long for the Russell, but everything else under and still kind of breaking through its short term supports. We didn't want to long that, so we didn't be passing that trade. 1 against 3. Don't love those trades. Let's see. Dow. Quick fight off of VWAP. Normal. For the Bulls to take over the morning here, I would like to see the Dow breaking through and holding VWAP. Even better than that, holding 840. Break and hold to 840, because even the breakthrough VWAP here to 840 and the kick back down right now, too, it's still not bullish. Break and hold over 840 here. Might have to start looking for that long. $777 did not hold for the Dow. It tucked and pushed right back, though, so it's still okay. All right, it's a waiting game for us right now, guys. We need a lot of breaks to go on here. I have 10:16. I'm gonna take a quick 5 minute break. I'll be right back. Hey guys, we're back. So down S&P are kind of kicking off here. Nasdaq still trading up here. That may be a short setup here. See if we can break through anywhere with add or with tick. $840 became a very quick 25% level here for Nasdaq. There, I would like this short from there, if anything, but if everything else is going to give up here, I don't mind chasing one real quick. And we're going to try a Nasdaq short here, guys. S&P giving up, Dow giving up right now. Russell coming back, kicking back too. Nasdaq's the only one that's kind of holding up here. We're gonna do a real quick scalp on Nasdaq. Let's see if we can catch this one here. Only one contract, small, little feeler trade. S&P and Dow did move off here. We're looking for a break of a trend line. For a trend line break. We are still under the hour and the 4-hour pivot. All right, let's see the reaction here at the 1-hour pivot. All right, so we're in the middle of a 1-hour pivot right now. Nasdaq, S&P is showing a little bit of life here, still holding though, not breaking through the 4600. Russell's been doing all day, just making highs. Dow slowing down a little bit here, kicking off the 759 resistance. All right, S&P hasn't made its decision yet. Nothing really has. Dow, S&P, Nasdaq still hanging out under right now. We need a clean break through 856 for Nasdaq to get into the bull zone for the day. Internal still slightly bearish, but more neutral than anything else right now. Nasdaq setting up here for a trend line, mini trend line break to the down. 97.97 would be the next level of support. Dow giving up, trying to retest again at 35,700. We say it all the time. The Dow, they just love round numbers. 35,700 right now. That's the number. That was support where it kicked off hard. I am convinced the Dow is just in love with these round numbers more than any other indice. All right, Dow testing it. 701 actually was the number right there. Let's see if we can make a new low. It's testing its lows again here. All right, let's see what we got here. Dow testing again. Nasdaq kicking off that 1 hour pivot. All right, Dow, definitely a hard rejection there. Nasdaq rejecting, everything rejecting right now. All right. But they didn't really give up the trend. The curvature is changing, guys. You see that the curvature is changing, but they didn't give up the trend just yet, though. So no breaks, still holding serve. All right, now volleying back up again. Here comes the Dow. So kicking off that 35,700 number. Needs to break 759 for a continuation here. Break and hold in the next 26 minutes would be nice for that. Nasdaq kicking up again, testing that 1 hour pivot as well. Nasdaq did bounce off hedge pressure, guys. You guys all see that? Oh, still a mixed bag here. Nothing really to write home about just yet. Hey, what's up, Slacks? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, it's kind of like a waiting day for us right now. It looks like Nasdaq is trying to tip over right now too. It did bounce off of hedge pressure, but it looks like it's trying to tip a little bit here. Russell still making new highs though. Doesn't care what the heck the market's doing. It's still pumping through everything. I'm at you with the coffee, brother. Oh, 50-50. Place your bets here, guys. Is it going to break up? Is it going to break down? Unless you have money in Russell right now, everything else is pretty much 50-50 here. We are above hedge pressure. Nasdaq bounced off hedge pressure. S&P almost touched hedge pressure. Did bounce now? Just everything's just kind of holding off. Sumatra. The curvature in the Nasdaq does look slightly bearish to me. But I can definitely see a VWAP touch before anything. I think this next hour pivot is going to give me my direction, which I'm kind of leaning on right now. Now, as I can say above the 797 number, I can see it reaching the 850, 840 number. If it gets below that, though, that could be trouble here. 708 would definitely be in play. Resilience still negative right now, so it's. I mean, this is again, and besides the Russell, this is a very, very mixed bag. Yeah, today's one of those setting up as one of those no trade days, unless something happens later on. I mean, for me, I don't like trading closing, but that's might be the only time where you get the actual setup here. Everything is bouncing back and forth here. Internals are bouncing. Nothing is it's not showing any strength or really severe weakness right now. There's nothing truly going on. Yeah, the Monday blues. But sometimes you get those days. Short term, everything is kind of doing what it's supposed to do. Nasdaq that was had a great close on Friday, right? Nasdaq tested its red line 765, bounced right off it, which is also right around hedge pressure as well. S&P kicked off, didn't get hedge pressure touched, but it did kick off the area, so it's still showing its magnet views. Nasdaq right now is looking like it wants to kind of test its daily lows again. Dow, the same thing too. Dow, even though it didn't break through that 700, though, it didn't give that kickstart that you're kind of looking for. I can see 750 as being a short if it gets into the new hour there. That may even be a short we take if S&P or Nasdaq can break down. Russell's still holding off. It's actually consolidating at the top right now. 2238 is its high. If we do get a pullback on Russell, 2312 would be a decent spot to kind of start a long position. With the completion, though, 2284 will be taken off the chart by tomorrow. All right, well, the Nasdaq now is see if it can get through. It'll be the next hour pivot is around 796. It's testing it now. Yeah, that's 750 Dow right now. It looks it's setting up to be a decent short. Internals though is just kind of really not doing much.
You see here, kid. You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before.
All right, we got a breakthrough of the 796. We did not get a hold on Nasdaq. Let's see if it will hold over to the new hour. 17 minutes left.
You see here, kid. You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what comes after or what came before. You just gotta bend your
Yeah, this
knees.
is really setting up. So we're definitely not a trading morning anyway. Only trades we saw decent trades here. We did see the Russell long. We didn't take the Russell long. It was going against the other three indices. That's really the only decent trade that actually would have paid off. There are some shorts like the Nasdaq short if you want to scalp it from like the 827, 826 number to the 800 number. There was a scalp there for 20 bucks. It's just so tough to go against the market. A, when you're going against hedge pressure. B, this has been on such a bull run right now. We had the 765 red line. We didn't want to attack that number also.
You see here, kid.
So very much a mixed bag day. We don't like trading mixed bag days. We want to see those trend days. We want to hit those trend days. This has not been that so far. I mean, you can make a case that like for the day, it's been trending down for Nasdaq and S&P, and it certainly looks like it has, but not giving up a hell of a lot from pullbacks there. This is one of those days probably was end around even. Um, I don't see any big moves setting up as far as the morning goes. This is definitely not that kind of day. Besides the Russell just kind of taking off right now, going against really everything. I don't have a top for Russell right now. I'm not getting involved in Russell. A pullback, a 2330 pullback or something maybe, but I'm not getting involved anything up here, even though it is consolidating at highs. So not a long that I'm looking for. Yeah, today's going to be a lesson in patience, guys, and waiting for that setup here. There's no setups that have been taking place so far. So on that, I'm just going to grab a quick water, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, not a whole heck of a lot going on today. We got the bounce, Nasdaq bounce off hedge pressure. Nothing was looking really solid. We didn't take the bounce on hedge pressure, but that could have been a trade. There was a long trade in Russell also. We're going against the other indices. We didn't take that either. We're looking for a less trading here. We're not looking for 10 trades a day, which I averaged a little over 10 last week. We're looking for 3 to 4 good setups per day. That's our goal for the week right now. We don't want to be over 25, really 30 max if those setups happen. If we get on a streak, we're not looking for anything more than that for the week, guys. We are looking for those prominent setups, and we're not really getting a heck of a lot of those today. Hedge pressure, or we had the hedge pressure long. Or resilience was against us. We didn't take it. I mean, not much. I mean, even in the internals, looking at internals right now, everything's just kind of bouncing. It's just trying to. It's holding serve right now. The market's holding serve. It gave back a little bit. It's testing. It's tested a red line for Nasdaq. It's testing some levels right now. Russell's blowing through. Dow dropped under 777. I mean, this is just a true mixed bag. We're holding up Dow that 35,700 number, which the Dow just loves those even numbers. But we're waiting for everything to kind of set up together here, and it seems like the market's fighting itself a little bit, which is fine. We'll just hang tight. Yeah, it just hasn't made any decision yet. I mean, even with the pullback there, the pullback was strong early, but it got to a red line. It tested where it was supposed to test. I'm not taking I'm not fading any trades. That's another good goal for this week. Let's not fade any trades, and that would have been a true fade. Trying to get to a red line. I don't want to take. I'd rather take the red line trades, and it's not setting. Nothing else is kicking through. I want something besides the Russell. The Russell is like we talked about last week, last couple of weeks. Russell's more like a little brother, little cousin kind of thing. We're not having that lead the market right now. Look at it; it's making new highs, making new daily highs. It's breaking through numbers, and the market is not really adjusting to that. You can make an argument that maybe that those moves up are keeping the market where it is right now. If the Russell gives up a decent level, maybe that'll affect the market. But right now, nothing's happening. There really just aren't any trades to make for me anyway. Nasdaq bouncing off the 385 call wall for its second test. It's something. It's decent, but it's still nothing is confirming those longs. Internals are looking very equal, even right now. So as far as setups go, I have nothing. You have the Dow again testing that 35,700 number. That could mean something. That could be a break. Let's see if it affects the market. But I would like to see S&P or Nasdaq make a break, up or down. I mean, I prefer up. The thing is about breaks down here, and I say it all the time, is that there's so many different levels that buyers are waiting to jump on this. So a breakdown is not confirming really a down for me. I mean, even if it is a down day, which it's not looking like that right now, everything is fairly, besides the Russell, everything is fairly close to even at open, right? 0.09% right now for Nasdaq, 0.08% for the S&P, up 0.054% for the Dow. I mean, this is the market deciding what it wants to do for this week. And if you're looking at the market on a week to week basis right now, that's exactly what's happening. We want to see what it's doing or where it wants to start off. There are a lot of levels to test here, and a lot of levels to break if this thing wants to get bearish. It's a lot harder to break in a bull market or even a bull week. It's a lot harder to break those levels going down than it is to catch a short squeeze or pop back up again. So if this setup was happening in an opposite direction there, I'd probably more inept to taking some longs, but I don't want to short this overall market right now unless everything sets up for the short. I don't need everything to set up for a long. I just need good positions with clear cut outs. But for a short, I would need everything to kind of start fading away. Like, and you get that feel. We had a couple of those. We had a couple of hours last week that were like that, where everything was just starting to dip, and you just had that feeling that it was all going to fall. And if you were able to scalp, I caught 100 points on a short from the Dow last week, 110 points, I think it was. So there are shorts when everything is there, but you need that again, everything to set up there, and you can't look for those. Well, you can do it if you wanted to, but I don't look for those longer term shorts. It's that's just not my style. I would hold a longer term. I would hold a longer term long. I would hold like a daily long. Like if I got into something early, like let's say that I got an open where everything was setting up right above hedge pressure. And I caught a hedge pressure. I would hold up that one of those a little longer, maybe throughout the day or half the day or something. But for a short, but I'm short scalping. I'm looking to get my money quick and get the heck out of there. In this market, guys who were shorting during the beginning of COVID, those guys got paid off very well. I know a lot of guys who were setting up for the short at the election time too, and that just missed. I know a lot of guys that were setting up there, but those guys are also like the longer swing traders. They're also hedging themselves with options and whatnot, so they're not getting killed. But a lot of people were betting on the market going down during and after the election, and or really after the election, and it really never came true. All right, so we're going into the 11 o'clock hour, guys. Nothing really different from the last hour. Really, we're just kind of holding those spots. The Dow is trying to break through, and it did break through finally just now. It broke through 35,700. Let's see if it holds underneath that. That could be something. We'll keep an eye on that. Russell is still holding above. It made a new high, 2339. Still right around that number, not giving up anything after its consolidation. S&P is now trying to give up a little bit as well. Let's see. S&P makes a new daily low right now. That might be something as well for a low for a short continuation. We're not taking a short right now, but we're not going to short the market while we're above hedge pressure. Something we're not going to do. I would need something to break hedge first. I can see that as a continuation. Like if S&P can break hedge first, or vice versa, Nasdaq breaks hedge first, I could see that as far as taking another indice for a short. Wouldn't be Russell. Russell today doesn't care what anything else is doing; it's just making its highs, and Russell would have to give a lot back for it. So for the Russell, if you were looking at anything, it would be for a long based on a hold on the other indices. And S&P now testing its daily low. Stay low right now. Dow breaking through that. A little bit of force in the Dow. All right. So let's see what the 11 o'clock hour brings. Sometimes you have these days where there's just not much to do, and that's fine as long as you're not trying to create something that's not there. And we clearly are not trying to create anything that's not there right now. Nasdaq testing the 800 number here. All normal. Russell's about four full points off of its high. Still above hedge pressure, S&P. Still above hedge pressure on Nasdaq, or far away from it on Dow and the Russell. So we're not putting too much stock in that for those two, but for the Nasdaq and the S&P, we are, and they're both still holding above. Until we get a break and a hold on one of them, there's just not much that we can do. So a very uneventful Monday so far. I'm actually very curious to see the close today and see if we get it. We've been getting big closes. We've been getting big moves in the close. Actually, very curious to see what we get today on the close. For now, for the most part, everything's kind of trapped inside a nice tight range. I mean, there are a lot of guys. I know a couple guys who do decent, and they can really short scalps. And those guys would be. I mean, you can just find your support and resistance. It's actually pretty clear. You can find your points on that, I guess, but it's not the game I'm looking for. If I'm scalping the Nasdaq, I want at least 10 points on that. S&P, I'm looking for 4 points for my scalps. But shorting here is a very dangerous game. I mean, I think it's 50% at best, and that's if you know your exits. Russell 2330 could look interesting if it gets to that support level. All right, new hour coming up here in about 40 seconds. We'll see if that triggers any action. Perfect world for us here. We like to see some breakups. We want to see some up moves. 800 could be support. We're not taking a Nasdaq long at 800, but it could be support there. But right now, everything is just kind of trapped in between walls. And Nasdaq giving back 100 points in this type of market right now. It's just so tough to take that short. A hedge pressure break, an up test hold, but I can't see something like that kind of move the way that it's been for the last 2 hours. I can't see that kind of move until happening until really late afternoon. So 2 o'clock, maybe a setup will happen for us, but again, there's no need to stress it, no need to push it. Always tomorrow. Tomorrow is just a day away. That's right. And the idea of this game is staying alive. Like the Bee Gees said, staying alive, staying alive. And that's what we're going to do today, looks like. I mean, something could set up itself for later on, and it's possible. I can see a 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I don't want to trade into the close. There's no need to press anything, but I could see a 2 o'clock setup happening, and that's fine if it does. I do have a couple meetings today, though, so I don't know that I'll be involved in the market at 2 o'clock. I'll be keeping an eye on it, though, but I don't know if I'll be plugged into the point that I want to make a trade, but I can see a 2 o'clock setup, something in the afternoon. Right now, it's the market is just trying to figure out what it wants to do and where it wants to spend its money. Right now, the Russell's leading, another new high, 2340 for the Russell. Dow testing 750 right now. That matters. Dow broke through the 700 number, which was its basement. Was holding it up for it, but popped right back up. That's the thing. There's so many moves right now that is kind of going against. There's no follow up. There's no carry through on any move that's happening right now. So why do you want to get involved in a market like that? Dow made a new low, a new daily low. Now it's going to a 750 testing resistance level, breaking through. Russell breaking through again, S&P breaking through again. Now the Nasdaq did hold the 800 number. We said that could be significant for a quick scalp, and that was your 20 points. But again, what's the point of? I mean, these are just true 50-50 trades, and these are just flipping quarters. I don't like flipping quarters. Resilience is still negative, a little more so in the S&P than the Nasdaq, which we can kind of see. That just makes sense right now. Nasdaq is trying to climb through a little bit. Nasdaq's looking at 100 and about 130, 35.67 off that 47. Yeah, 47 could be a real quick red line. Would actually take you right in 4 hour. That would be a scalp. But I'm not. I don't want to short scalp this. I took a shot with a short scalp. I took a break even, a +5 trade. I'm not looking to short scalp this right now. I want to follow through trade. I'm not going to waste one of my 3 trades today on that. And I don't want to take any more than 3 trades today. Going over my stats for last week there, my A+ trades were still A+ trades, but there were a lot of B trades in there, and I don't want to get into that over trading. I'm going to show a little discipline right now. I'm going to hang out with you guys for another hour, and I'm going to look for those A+ setups. That's our goal for the week. I want to be under 30 trades for the week. Really, low 20s would be fantastic. I want to be low 20 trades, and I want to be around 70% winners. That is our goal today or this week. All right, so Dow bounced through 750. We said that was resistance. Let's see if it uses that support. If it does, 838's in play for the Dow. That could be a nice little long there. Actually, that is a decent long. We're not getting any of the confirmation right now. We would need a breakthrough something. Yeah. Setup's not bad. We're going to pass in a setup. The 750 long for the Dow, that could pay off decent. $750 with a clean stop. Yep, so much for that support for the Russell. Breaking through 740 right now. That would have been a stop if we would have taken it. Choppy, choppy, choppy. These levels here. Big number for NASDAQ to break through. If we can get to the 856, it's slowly climbing up right now. It's getting itself situated here. But a break and hold 856 here, that could set up for a long later on. And we have tick right now getting to equilibrium. See what that does there. There's just not much to write home about today. It's the way that today's going. Since I've been live, this is actually probably fortunately, the most boring market day so far. Except for that guy who caught that Russell long. That guy's enjoying the market. All right, we got 11:16 right now. Nothing really to talk. Nothing really to kind of talk about. Any setups happening? 894 has been a setup for S&P for a little bit. It is hovering over there. Could use that as support. That's fine. Nasdaq right now is climbing up right now, but getting into the heavy resistance here. Let's see what if it can break through anything. If Nasdaq can break through and hold 856 right now, that would be the only play we're gonna have for any kind of a long somewhere. Russell still holding true, 2340. That holds a support right now. Another leg up. Russell is still hanging very, very strong. But nothing else really going on right now, guys. So I'm gonna take a quick 3-minute break, and we'll be right back. All right, so S&P did use this hour pivot as support. S&P right now kicking off would be nice. Dow back into play. It's just consolidating. Everything is just finding where it wants to go. But the Russell knows where it's going. The Russell is going to the moon. Everything else is kind of just hanging stagnant here. 840 is a 25 level for this quick move up from Friday into today. 840 level on the NASDAQ right now. Holding up. Well, we have some action here for the long side. Nothing crazy, nothing confirming, but not looking bad. Nasdaq getting through another call wall here. Still, that pop off of hedge pressure was a fantastic call. Broke through hedge pressure, held up, broke through a wall. Use that 385 wall as support. So maybe we'll get an afternoon surge here for the long side. I'm actually curious if we do get that late surge, if the Russell is just exhausted or if it continues also, if that's the push, it needs to get even higher highs. It's just a straight line right now for the Russell. Well, let's see. NASDAQ, we're getting to important areas right now for a daily shift. This is kind of getting to that area. So we are watching the NASDAQ here. $834 VWAP. Let's see if that holds. This NASDAQ could get interesting. Internals really not not showing us a whole bunch right now. That's the thing. Internals aren't confirming really anything for me right now, and that's like my second level of confirmation. Hedge pressure is 1, resilience 2, internals 3. If I get all 3 in the same line, then I'm looking good. But internally right now, this is messing around. You can make a case that taking out are more bullish than bearish right now. VIX was bearish for most of the day. Up until now, it's getting to that testing level. Make it a little easier for you guys to read what I'm seeing. So for me here, I'm looking for a breakthrough right now. We have Addis trying to get up here. We are at 1300 for AD, which is slightly bullish in itself. And Tick is not doing much here as well, right? So really, if we can keep here, this can hold up. That can hold as support. That'd be nice. And as soon as we say that, tick makes a new low. Yeah, this is not a day that I want to trade. So the Russell's been the only clean play. I'm looking at the market. I'm looking for setups just so I can talk about some setups here, but it's just nothing is getting there. 750 holding as a support for Dow right now. That could be a decent move to that 838, 840 level. That's possible. But Nasdaq being where it is right now, dead smack in the middle of a 25 level and a 4-hour pivot to the downside. This is a game of small scalps for today, unless you're in the Russell trade. But just setting up again for another long the Russell trade, actually. So in these kind of markets, I like to sit out. Nasdaq, let's see if it holds VWAP here. If it holds VWAP, it'll move up here. It would be a case to break through the 856 number. 835. There's a 20-point scalp there if we do hold through the 835. We're also at a red line coming down from that 914 number. So right now we're just going to hold tight here, but I can see that the 835 play can get you to 856 for a quick scalp. I will not be taking that trade. Dead smack in the middle, still of that 4-hour pivot. Dead smack in the middle of a 25% level. There's a lot going on right now. S&P did kick off of that. What number do we have? That was a 45.92 hourly pivot. It did break through. Was holding as resistance, became support, broke through. Next level there, if it holds to the new hour, actually, at 95. If we can hold 95 for the S&P, that could bring this thing to the 4604. That move is in play too. And the NASDAQ breakthrough of 856 could confirm a play there. Russell is still making new highs. It's actually stepping its way all the way through. Dow is still undecided. But there are some longs that are starting to kind of set themselves up here. I like to see a play through here. NASDAQ can break through the 856 and hold above that. I would like to see S&P kind of follow suit. Now, normally NASDAQ and S&P, we talk about this really every show. They follow each other more than anything else does. The Dow and the Russell, they can be in agreement with each other more times than not. Today, it's just a Russell show, right? The Russell's is taking over this market. Everything else is kind of holding stagnant here. We had the breakdown in NASDAQ. We had the breakdown in the S&P. Same as the Dow, but the Russell has been climbing really the whole time here. So nothing has really caught up. So the Russell is kind of marching to its own drummer kind of thing today, which the little brother tendency, which we always talk about that, is kind of coming, is kind of true today. I actually posted about that in my Twitter and my StockTwits page earlier as well. And little brother syndrome is still playing through. Now, we are getting small levels of support here. So a breakthrough of anything, which NASDAQ is the first one that's poised to do so, breakthrough of that can have the late afternoon session, or the afternoon session, can have a go for the long. We still are in the negative for resilience. We're not looking to fire a jump in right now for anything, but we do have some setups that are kind of making their way into the market. So afternoon session could be a little more interesting than the morning session. Morning session will just kind of sit on hands. And for all the guys who are talking, we're all kind of in the same boat for that. No one's really rushing to get into anything. Really isn't any true confluence right now in the market. but that can change. All it takes is one breakthrough. Nasdaq and S&P normally being the leaders for that. And this just shows you guys more than anything else about the importance or the relevance in all the indices for the S&P and for the Nasdaq. Russell, which is climbing really throughout the whole day, is not really bringing anything with it. Maybe you can make a case that it helped from something dropping to other levels, but I don't think that was the case. My theory is that we just have to test some levels that haven't been tested yet. Like the 15765 number was a very important number for Nasdaq. Jumped right to it, popped right off it. You had other things there as well too. Hedge pressure was huge at that number. So even though at that point the market was really trailing for it, it was at the open, and at the open now the market makers is looking for where's the number, where are the buyers? Well, it found them at that 765. And the only thing climbing at that point was the Russell. Everything else was kind of falling on its feet. So now it took about 2 hours, really, right, guys? So in 2 hours later, now we are finding these small little support levels that are trying to hold the Dow's too. Now the 745 is trying to hold for the Dow. It broke through twice, up and down. It's just kind of climbing. But if you're looking at it as a whole, the setup, everything is kind of, well, the other three indices, not the Russell, they're kind of testing red line levels right now. So the plays here, I'm not looking to make a short play here. No, you can make a case, and there's definitely a clear out for those plays, so that's fine. Your return on investment's not bad there, but this is feeling more breakish up now to me. But again, it's 50-50 at best. So I'm not in the mood to flip a coin right now for these trades. I'm looking for those A plus setups. I'm looking for the indices to be in confluence with each other and to kind of work with each other. And right now, the Russell's going against the market. At one point, the Nasdaq and the Dow for like a half hour time, Nasdaq was trying to push up, Dow was, and S&P was trying to push down. Dow has been breaking up and down through levels of support and resistance, like they're not even there, making new lows, then pushing through a level. It's just it's very messy right now. So we don't feel a need to get involved in messy, and we're not. However, Nasdaq if we do get a break and hold above, if it can hold above 860 or higher, that 856 number, if it can hold above that, we may start looking for longs in the S&P. Nasdaq is closer to breaking a number that we have as significant. It's a lot closer than the S&P is right now. So I would think that the Nasdaq would open and the S&P would kind of follow suit. But again, there's this. It's just if I had to put a number on anything right now, we're very close to 50-50. Now, again, I mean, every trade theoretically is always 50-50, right? Either you're going to win or you're going to lose. But I'm not looking to hold the trade for the rest of the day. I'm looking to get into something where I'm looking to get into a trailer. I want to trail Nasdaq or S&P today. One breaking through and taking the other one. That's the kind of trade that I'm looking for right now. I like a trailer trade. Now, 45.95, if that holds for the S&P, and 46.04 comes very much into play. But there are so many things right now that have to hold. There aren't any levels that are kind of just like not guaranteed support, because again, nothing's guaranteed, but there are any levels that we feel really confident in. We have some that we see that they're on our charts, but they're not these like heavy numbers. These aren't these heavy levels. We had a bunch of those from last week, but I don't see anything so far today. But this is now I get the feeling this is shaping up to set up for a nice afternoon trade. Dow again testing support, but nothing is really making its decisions yet. Hold above VWAP is definitely good for Nasdaq, and a hold above VWAP and a breakthrough a new high right now that I would think should propel. So that would take S&P out of a 50-50 trade. We can find a nice level of support for the S&P there. I can see a break of VWAP and following through on Nasdaq. I would like Nasdaq to hold and make a new high here. So we don't want Nasdaq tucking back in and kind of chopping around either. We're looking for a hold over VWAP, which it's trying to do. This is definitely consolidation right now over VWAP. So a new high here would give us a little bit more hope for the long side. I would love to have a long setup for later on. That'd be fantastic. I'd much rather have a long setup than a short setup for later on. Now, if the market crumbles as a whole, if Russell can give back like a 4-hour pivot or something like that, then maybe we'll find a nice short scalp. But right now, Russell is, I mean, 4 tiers in for the long. This is 4 levels up long right now, Russell. And in 20 minutes right now, it's at actually its next level at the 40 number. The 2340 is next level of support. If you're basing on the pivot system, which I do like going off the pivots as another sense of security for where if I'm going long or short. Hedge pressure still in our favor. Resilience never caught up today. It's been negative pretty much the whole open. Right around negative 30 right now, S&P, negative 13 right now for NASDAQ. Internal still not giving us much of anything right now, making a new tick low. Ad is staying right around that number. It's just holding through. It's like the market as a whole is just looking for something that someone to take over, and it's not the Russell, and that should show us the significance of the Russell as far as being a market mover. Now there are days the Russell holds. I feel that the Russell holds up the market more than it moves the market. Now the Nasdaq and the S&P, when those guys are running, they're moving the market. They're moving all the indices for the most part, but they have more weight into those guys, right? That's why I don't like taking Russell, even if the other three indices, Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, when they're running long. I don't like taking those trailer trades off the Russell because the Russell, I mean, more so than well, not more so than not, but the Russell does have a mind of its own more so than the other three indices. But Nasdaq making a move up right now and S&P staying stagnant. I like those trailer trades. Even the Dow, I don't mind getting involved in that. The Dow can mirror Nasdaq and S&P just as much as it can mirror the Russell. So those are different types of trades that I don't mind. And Dow just bouncing back and forth here. So there are some positives going on if you are looking looking to make a bull case for today. Nasdaq is holding above VWAP. That's a decent sign right now. It isn't a 4-hour pivot right in the middle of it though, so we would need a break up. We're looking to break and hold over 856 for the Nasdaq, kind of confirm that it's looking for its long. Dow is not helping at all for that. Russell is giving back a little bit. It just gave back a little bit of support there at the 2340 number. Not significant yet, but something to keep an eye on. S&P right now at the 95 level. This could be support if we did get a Nasdaq breakup. I could see a long scalp there to 4604. So there's stuff to watch. My opinion right now, for my own trading, there's nothing to get into, but there's definitely stuff that there is to keep an eye on. This is a very I'm getting to the newbie traders, or when I was trading anyway. These are days that are very, very scary because I believe that they teach bad habits and that people are over trading and they're catching one of these. And okay, well, it went up, so it's going down. I'm going to catch it up right now. I'm going to take a couple points out right now. It is so hard to be consistent. You may have some wins on days like this, but it's so hard to be consistent on these kind of days because the market never really is giving you that confirmation. And so days and I see a lot of newbie traders that every day has to be a day, and they set goals could be $100 a day, 500 a day, 2,000 a day. Yikes! So those goals are very, very tough. They're very, very tough to get because what you want to do is when those setups happen, you want to have those big days on those setups there and keep everything kind of as is and simple and low key for the days like this. This is what we want to kind of do. All right, so here we go. Here, actually, the player for us, if we're gonna take it a trade, might be the Dow. It's possible the Dow will be the long trade for us if the Nasdaq can break through, unless we get a retest of the 95 number for S&P. So we're watching closely here for the Nasdaq. That break and hold of 860 here would might trigger a long from us. All right, let's see. We get this break. We're gonna hang tight with you guys and watch and see if we get this move or not. We get the break. I would like to take the 95 long from S&P. If Nasdaq does break, and it's trying. It's definitely taking a shot. All right, and stuck it inside. All right, guys. So on that, I'm gonna leave you with this. Patience is always a virtue in trading, guys. And we're gonna stay out of this market for today. We have a couple meetings later on anyway, so we're gonna keep an eye on the market. I'll be available on Discord if you guys have any questions. You want to reach out to me, talk about anything. And we're gonna call that a show for today. All right. So take care, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.